Okay, let's go.
Are you concerned about your intimacy?
That's an important topic.
Very much so, because this is something that can really cause a lot of tension and cause a lot of rift in couples, for sure.
Wow, yeah, definitely. So we are the number six.
This is number 6 out of the series of 10 of Why Do Couples Argue? And there is an uneven amount of intimacy and affection in a relationship. One person feels rejected and lonely, and the other one feels maybe put on and burdened and maybe resentful or just totally distracted in their own thing. That becomes a problem.
Absolutely. This is a part of the foundation in that relationship, intimacy. And not just about the sexual intimacy. It's a soul intimacy. Having the time. I believe that the time is a key factor in a relationship. The time that you dedicate to the loved one.
Absolutely. And many times you can feel a little neglected, right, in a relationship, especially when we get really busy with other things, with work and kids and all kinds of things. It's a lot going on that we have to make sure that we carve out some time that is dedicated to us as a couple.
It should be part of the relationship as a ritual that you separate some time in the evening before to go bed and connect, reconnect, and know a little bit more about what happened in your loved one day in order to keep moving before the next new day.
Yeah. Basically, there are three simple ways to reestablish or to really get connected. Preferably, you haven't gotten to this place where you have to reestablish your intimacy. But if you do, three simple places where you can go ahead and do that. One is like you were saying, Andres, that you can there's specific moments in the day that are easier to make sure you reconnect. It's first thing in the morning when you first come home from work, with whoever comes home first, and then they're there to greet the other, and when you are ready to go to bed. So, like you said, be very conscious and about, like, look at each other in the eyes, take some time to listen. How are you? Not just how you doing. No, but really, no, how
Be
are you?
present.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the fact that you are next to the other, it doesn't mean you're present.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people who that I work with have this problems. But just real quick to go over, so that's one. Making time for affection, like you said, not just sex, and then also sharing your needs without blaming, with a gentle startup. So we'll go over those things. But yeah, I can't tell you how many couples I have who will tell me, it's like, oh yeah, you were over there by the TV, and maybe even also with your phone. And then I was over here by the dining room table, and on the phone. The other one would say, well, you were over there with your phone, and well, you were over there watching TV, and complete disconnect.
We are constantly bombarded from announcements to get connected, connectivity, and but at the same time, we are disconnected from each other, from the fundamental things in the family and the relationship. We are connected to our devices and getting busy trying to get the most information that we can, but we didn't pay much attention that you love one, you other important person in your life.
Even just taking pictures sometimes can get in the way of fully being in the moment, and especially when you're taking pictures, then I gotta post it on social media. I mean, I do it. However, there are very, very specific times where I refrain from doing it, because I realize, no, when I do that, I'm not fully in the moment, I'm missing out. So there are times where you can just play around with it and go, no, I'm not going to take any pictures.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be here, be fully present.
Regarding to this specific topic, I see my son sometimes as a master, and he it's incredible smart and regarding to the picture. So we went to the soccer game, and actually was his first soccer game, and so we went to the soccer field, and I was excited, and I wanted to take pictures, and he told me, "Stop it, just be present, stop with the pictures." All right, I got it. So
uh,
let's enjoy the moment.
yep, yep. That's very good.
Yeah, it's gonna be storage in your heart and your soul, and I'm sure he's gonna.
You already got enough pictures. There you go.
Yeah, I sneak a couple pictures, but yeah.
That's how it always starts the sentence. Hey, Pop. Yeah. So sharing your needs without blame using gentle startup. What that is, let's say, for example, I feel as though you've been very distracted and haven't been paying attention to me, and like, you know what? I really miss you. Is there any way that we could take a little time out to hang out and talk? Yeah, maybe go have a cup of coffee and make a delicious cup of coffee. How about that? And then that would be, how did that feel?
That feels really good. I mean, in order to try to find the time to reconnect with your loved one, it doesn't mean you need to take a vacation. You need to no need to do something extraordinary. You can, as you said, go grab a cup of coffee, just turn everything off in your house, have a moment to listen, to share what just happened in your day. How was your day? And be present. It's gonna take you 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then
Yeah, and let's say, for example, there was something specific, it's like that I felt like, you hadn't been paying attention to. It's like, you know what? I don't know if you noticed, but let's just say it's about really, that you really haven't been coming out to say hello to me when I get home, and I really miss that because I love coming home, and then you come up to me and give me a kiss and a hug, or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's like, have you noticed that maybe we haven't been really intimate? We haven't been having sex very much, and what's going on? Are you worried about something or something like that? So the way you bring it up, when you have that gentle startup, it's much easier to hear and receive, and then you are much more likely to have a productive outcome. Because when I come to you like that, what does that feel like?
it's important in the relationship to let the other person know how much you appreciate certain things, because we have the tendency to take things for granted, and that's not always good. So once in a while, remind to your loved one how much do you appreciate certain things that he or she does for you in the relationship.
Yeah.
That's
And even if it's just something you do naturally because that's who you are, it's nice to hear that that's
yeah,
being appreciated. It's like, wow, really? I didn't know that. Wow. Now I want to do it even more because you noticed it and you said it, and it's something that makes you happy, that makes me happy. And
yeah,
we can just keep that going,
exactly. Yeah.
and making time for affection, not just sex. So, you know, holding hands, when you walk down the street. For example, I love how you're always, if you're ahead of me, you're always reaching your hand back for me. And, you know, things like that. Maybe if you're sitting somewhere, you just scoot a little closer, and just that touch, because we know physiologically touch actually releases oxytocin in our body. That's our love hormone, I guess. That it gives us that warm, fuzzy feeling. And it's something that's really healthy for us. It actually also helps make our muscles younger.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. That's David Schmidt.
I touch a little bit more.
Yeah, right. Get some Popeye muscles going here. So little things. When you walk by your loved one in the kitchen, just kind of get them a little rub on the back, or pet their butt, or give them a little squeeze, or a little kiss on the ear, or something like that, right? All those little things. Some people like to call it foreplay. Yeah, and if that's what works for you, call it. Think of it as foreplay. Maybe that can help motivate you to do. If it doesn't make you feel, doesn't motivate you, then don't call it foreplay. But what you are doing is that you are nurturing this relationship. You're
Correct.
dribbling constantly little things, verbally, physically, time wise, with your presence, with actually having eye contact.
Mhm.
That, because that's another way that couples get disconnected, when they start not looking at each other. these are some of the signs that people look at, and then what's going on here? I feel like you're withdrawing, you're moving away from me. And why is that?
Yeah, I believe is a crucial difference between cell phones, iPads, and the TV. So, cell phones are created for individual entertainment or work or whatever. So, when you are watching a TV with your loved one, so you are sharing the emotions that you are seeing in the big screen, because both of you are paying attention to the same. And sometimes the emotions that your partner can feel from a certain scene, specifically in the movie, can make you learn about something new in your loved one. Maybe something got triggered inside about anything in the movie, and you can ask, "Hey, what was that? I felt you, and this time is something that you want to share, something that, and you can learn. That's the relationship is a learning process,
Yeah.
and you can get a lot of from the emotions that you may didn't know or didn't pay attention before.
Yeah.
What do you think?
100%. I love how you honed in on that piece, because the other part is you could also do something else that could distance yourself by laughing. It's like, why are you crying? Come on, it's just a movie. That would be very dismissive and probably create more of a gap between you, right? Because here somebody's having an emotional moment,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and again, could very well be because it reminded me of my wonderful grandma. I didn't have a wonderful grandma, but let's
I
just
didn't have one.
there you go. You
I'm
should
sure
have.
I had at some point.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
didn't get to experience them.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah. Or I mean, for example, for me, when I see somebody special who's dying, that gets to me. And I lost my dad when I was very young. When I was 5 years old, he passed away. So I feel that, and every once in a while, even though that's 50 years ago, it still sometimes comes up. So it could be, maybe you were in a bad relationship and you're watching something, and you're seeing somebody struggle in a bad relationship, and you cry for them but also for your younger self, and so there's a lot, like you said, that you can learn. Maybe it's a war scene and your loved one was in war, you were in war, right? And so that's coming up. So really being there and seeing and giving, making space for your spouses, your partners, vulnerability, because they're allowing themselves to be vulnerable there. That's how you also deepen that relationship. And that's also a way of being intimate and affectionate, right?
Definitely, yeah. So that's something that you don't gonna get from the phone, because you are watching sometimes by yourself and you don't share the emotions. So it's totally different. I'm not a fun person, but I like to watch movies once in a while,
Yeah.
and I got triggered by emotions as
Mm.
well sometimes.
And I definitely do. So and the last one is, to wrap this up, develop rituals and around affection and cuddling. So maybe it's like that part of, maybe part of your morning ritual is to snuggle up a little bit as you're still trying to wake up. Maybe it's same thing in the evening. Maybe it's when you're sitting on the couch, that you sit close and you just hold each other. Maybe it's when you see each other after work. That's another time where you can have a ritual. It's like, we're going to have a long hug and kiss, and so those kinds of things is how you develop how you interact, as opposed to sitting at opposite ends of the couch and sitting as far away from your spouse as possible. That that's a whole other kind of dynamic, right?
I grew up in a culture, at least in my family, we never share affection. And just a few months ago, and I started to do this with my mom before she passed, because she never told us, I love you. And once I had my own kids, and I started to tell my mom how much I love her, and it was something shocking for her, and it was very difficult for her. And we had this conversation, and I told her, I know you love me. Why you don't express you love? That's important for us to listen. And even when I talk with my siblings today, it's easy to be upset and say things that you didn't mean, or maybe you did, but it's kind of difficult to share some love words. You need to practice. You need to express yourself. Tell the others how much you love them.
Yeah, yeah. And I think maybe part of that is that when you do that, you make yourself vulnerable. So you feel vulnerable, and that can feel scary. So yeah,
It's I think it's a muscle, like a muscle. You need to practice. You need to practice.
there
I
you go.
try to do with my kids all the time, but especially with the little one now. And try, and it's easy for him, like, express how much he loved me as well,
Yeah.
because I show him how much I love him, and I express myself. And till the end of my mom's days was difficult for her to express
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, because that was such a part of her foundation, right? And by the time you were the youngest of five, so by the time you got to that age, that was a lot of years of her life.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so let us know what some of the struggles that you may have, some of the successes you've had. We love to hear your input. What are some other topics that you want to hear about? If you know somebody who may also have a hard time saying I love you and maybe be struggling with intimacy and infection in their relationship, then share this with them. If it's something that you feel it could maybe have help them, give them some ideas, inspire them, make them feel more okay with allowing themselves to be vulnerable, because that many times is what is holding people back. And otherwise,
It's moments in life that you can show your toughness, and it's another times that you can show you love. Just,
yeah,
you're a human being.
exactly, exactly. So go out there, shine your beautiful inner light. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.